What was the issue?
I had the same issue before, but basically, when you add your trading account in MetaTrader, it couldn't find the broker. So if I just enter the details, the credentials, then it won't log in. I have to go into File and open account, and then I have to find the broker and log in with the credentials. So it has to find the broker first. That was the issue. I think it took me like good 6 weeks, 4 weeks to figure it out. So it has to find the broker first. Hello, hello everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hi there.
Wagwan.
Wagwan, Jamaica.
Wagwan, Jamaica.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Tom. Okay. So, let's
What
start.
we have today?
Not much, to be honest, brother. Thursday is going to be NFB day instead of Friday because 4th of July, long weekend. Hell yeah, another one. Let me just fire up my systems and then we're going to start the analysis. Okay. And also I'm just checking something on YouTube. On YouTube, you can add subtitles, if I'm correct. I got an email from YouTube saying that in a lot of languages, you can have live translation now. Okay, let me put some music on. Okay, welcome back everyone. Today is 1st of July, Tuesday. New month, new opportunities. So starting with macroeconomics, the whole world is waiting for Donald Trump and the EU and also other trade partners negotiation. There was a deadline, 9th of July. I think it was a 90-day pause or truce, whatever we call it, and it's coming to an end. And all traders, investors, analysts, hedge fund managers are eagerly waiting to see if they can come to an agreement. Now, this is something that is quite it is difficult and it's not difficult to trade. Obviously, everyone thinks that the counterparties, the US and the EU, two biggest ones, will come to an agreement, and most likely the 10% tariff will stay, and then they will thank Donald Trump for only imposing 10%, like they did with other trade partners or with Donald Trump. When is it going to happen? We don't know, but I have a feeling that they will come to an agreement before 9th of July. Now, when this happens, stock markets are going to rally. Dow Jones especially. You can see, this was the analysis in the morning. you can see that we have a consolidation right here. And price could dip down a little bit lower or not. But what I'm expecting is a new all-time high when they come to an agreement. And right now, New York Stock Exchange is open. As we speak, it literally did open right now. I have one position which is a short position on gold, and I'm thinking a long position on US 100, maybe US 30. That's okay. Let me just load up the template, the famous Alpha FX colors. I'm going to change okay, perfect. So I'm entering a long position on US 30 right now as we speak, targeting anything above. So I'm expecting a breakout from the consolidation you can see in TradingView. Just quick check, guys. Can you see both TradingView and MetaTrader? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is it clearly visible? Big enough?
Yes, Thomas.
Okay, thank you. So new position on US 30 just entered now as we speak. Adding the candle timer, adding my favorite indicators, open positions, and the candle timer. Sending out the signal to the group because they get live signals every time I enter. I hope this summer is going to be as good as last year. That was epic. We made very good money. Despite our... Hello Yanar, welcome back.
Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. I had a long 8 days, 9 days off. That was good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was good. Okay. So, right now shorting gold and long on US 30. I'm going to put, yeah, US 30 and gold at the same screen. Gold short position. I'm entering another one with 2.5 lots. Just entered now as we speak. Targeting somewhere around 33.20, 33.10. These are the price levels which you can see in TradingView. I'm expecting a pullback just a little bit higher than the pivot, the weekly pivot. Summer trading season has started. Usually summers are very, very quiet. Low liquidity, and not the kind of liquidity and volume you want. It's a shitty one where liquidity is very low. So if someone submits an out of market order, which is like something crazy, you know, a bid or an ask, way higher or lower than the actual price, and if there's no other parties to, you know, to match your order, the market makers execute that order, and that's why you have those huge whiplashes and you know, fake outs during summer season. School is finished. everyone's going on holiday.
Thomas, you know the power gonna speak soon, and with other the central banks.
No, I haven't seen it.
Well, I was sent the link in Discord, General Sat.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay.
I've seen that one, and thank you so much. So there will be a power speech at right now, but I think all Bailey, Bank of Japan, Lagarde, so all the big central bankers are going to speak. I don't think that they will hint anything about the upcoming interest rate cuts. What I'm waiting for is the ISM manufacturing prices and the PMI, to be exact, and also JOLTS job openings. We still got 23 minutes. We will analyze very soon. Let me finish my coffee.
Well, the bankers are live now. Lagarde was starting to talk.
What's the conference about?
It should be ECP forum. You can look in general chat in Discord. I was posting there.
Ah, okay.
Or you gonna team with you? I'm gonna send you.
Thank you, Kilk.
Welcome.
So I think it's a think tank.
Through some of the final prices.
So thank you, Francine, and Christine, thank you to you and your colleagues for putting on another great conference here today. It's been a pleasure. I guess I would start, if I may, by saying that the U.S. economy is in a pretty good position. Inflation has come down close to 2%. We're at 2.3 headline, 2.7 core. The unemployment rate is at 4.2%, so we're healthy overall. If you ignore the tariffs for a second, inflation is behaving pretty much exactly as we have expected and hoped that it would. We haven't seen effects much yet from tariffs, and we didn't expect to by now. We've always said that the timing, amount, and persistence of the inflation would be highly uncertain, and it's certainly improved.
Can you hear the
we're watching. We expect to
Powell
see
speaking?
over the summer some readings, higher readings, but we're prepared to learn that it can be higher or lower or later or sooner than we'd expected.
But, Chair, would the Fed have cut more by now if it weren't for the tariffs?
Oh.
So I do think that's right. In effect, we went on hold when we saw.
Oh, Lacroix. She's a Bloomberg journalist, but I can't remember her first name.
We didn't overreact. In fact, we didn't react at all. We're simply taking some time. As long as the U.S. economy is in solid shape, we think the prudent thing to do is to wait and learn more and see what those effects might be. And again, they haven't really shown up, and so for now we're waiting.
Governor Rhee, I mean, South Korea's economy is, of course, highly reliant on trade. Putting aside the deals that each government can strike with the Trump administration, What can central banks, in your position, do to shield economies from the impact of trade tariffs?
Actually, about the tariffs' impact on inflation, our current inflation is well stabilized around 2%, and we believe tariff tends to be deflationary rather than inflationary for three reasons. One is Korea is not likely to use retaliatory tariff. Second, we import 22% of our import from China, and recently export price of China has been falling at 5% a year for several years, and we believe that it will continue to do so. And at this moment, our growth rate is 0.8%, which is well below our potential growth rate. So aggregate demand pressure is much lower. So our problem is not the inflation itself, but the gross impact of tariff.
So what does that mean you'll do going forward?
Yeah, actually, we have been in an easing cycle, and we cut our interest rate 100 BP from last October, and we will continue to be in an easing cycle given our growth rate. But recently, financial stability risk has been rising, especially housing price in metropolitan area is increasing very fast. So we are keeping an eye on this financial stability risk in deciding the pace and the timing of the further cuts.
Governor Bailey, you've taken the view that the latest rises in inflation in the UK will be transitory. Why are you so confident that inflation will fall back?
Actually, you may have detected I've tried to avoid using the transitory word because it was, oddly enough, it has.
Okay, US 30 is running in 23 pips of profit. Gold is in, let's say, break even. Not too much. I have a strong feeling that we're going to see new all-time highs on US indices when they come to an agreement regarding the tariffs.
So I think the key judgment for us is, are we going to get second round effects from this pickup? And of course, it's nothing like the pickup of a few years ago, just to be clear. And my judgment is at the moment is that the context is different, that we do see evidence. I see some signs of softening in the economy, I see signs of softening in the labour market. We are going to have to see those come through, though. I mean, come through into prices. I think we've still got to see the evidence and prices. But that background context allows certainly me to say, look, I think the direction.
Okay, we got a question from Mache on YouTube. I think it was regarding why dollar is getting weaker and weaker to attract more investors from other countries. This is a question which can be answered. There are multiple reasons why the dollar is getting weaker. The first one is obviously Trump. Trump, even though he wanted to make the dollar the strongest currency in the world, the policies and actions he made since he took office on 12th or 15th of November 2024 made the dollar significantly weaker. Although it's the reserve currency, many investors and traders started to de-dollarize their portfolios because the volatility was unbearable. That's the biggest reason why the dollar got weaker. But because it is the reserve currency of the world, and because the petrodollar system, it did lose only about 10% from 2024 or since 2024.
In your economy that make inflation more persistent?
So let me say, to put it simply, as you say, headline inflation has been above 2% for almost 3 years, while what we call underlying inflation is still somewhat below 2%. That's the situation we are in. But if I could decompose it further, there's probably about 3 components to it. First, there's underlying inflation.
Mr. Ueda's English is very good.
It's dynamics whereby increases in prices affect wages, which further affect prices, helped by resilient domestic demand. This component has been going up slowly. But as I said, it's still somewhat below 2%. Then there's going to be perhaps a second component, which will be the expected negative effects of possible tariffs on the economy and on prices. We are expecting this to take place, but we haven't seen that yet. There's a third component, which is a domestic supply shock generated by increases in food prices. Actually, this component accounts for about 50% of the headline inflation we've got at the moment. So netting these three, we think the first.
Okay, gold is running in 20 pips profit, US 30 is 70 pips.
Underlying inflation toward 2% by end 26 or 27. The third component, food inflation, is going to subside toward the year end. So, but we will be closely monitoring interplays between these three forces.
But, Governor, how do you view trade concerns the day after President Trump threatened Japan with more tariffs?
Well, it's being negotiated by our minister in charge, so I'm trying to avoid making any specific comments on this.
So let me just ask you, what will be the key trigger for Japan for deciding further rate hikes?
Okay, as I said, it will depend on the relative strength of the three inflation dynamics I was describing, and we need some more information to determine that.
President Lagarde, when you look at rate cuts, I mean, are we gonna, where do you see actually the ECB going? You're in a pretty comfortable position right now out of all the central banks.
Data will tell. So I think we are determined to continue to be data dependent, to decide meeting by meeting, and to not commit to any particular rate path. That's the doxa. And we're very lucky because we have just completed our strategy assessment, which really gives us a good framework and good strategy lines within which to operate. But those three aspects that I have mentioned, data dependent, meeting by meeting, no commitment to any particular rate path, are constant in that ongoing strategy based on what we have concluded actually yesterday.
Jay Powell?
So from our standpoint, as you will have seen, a solid majority of FOMC participants do expect that it will become appropriate later this year to begin to reduce rates again. And so, that will depend, though, as Christine just mentioned, on the incoming data. We'll be monitoring particularly what does show up in terms of inflation or what does not show up, and also carefully watching the labor market. You know, we watch very carefully for signs of unexpected weakness. We see a gradual cooling, but we don't really see that yet. So those are the things we'll be watching, but as I mentioned, a majority of us do feel that will be appropriate in the remaining 4 meetings of the year to begin to reduce rates again.
Madame Lagarde, the euro has also surged about 12% against the dollar so far this year. Are you concerned that its strength runs counter to your efforts to also loosen financial conditions?
You know, I'm not going to comment on the exchange rate. We take it into account for purposes of our projections. Obviously, it has an impact, but it's a reflection of the market conditions and assessment. It's also a reflection of the strength of our economy. But there has been a clear appreciation relative to the dollar, and depending on how you look at it, it's either a depreciation of the dollar or an appreciation of the euros. And there might be a bit of both in that particular case. We're also looking at the movement, the flow of capitals and the attractiveness of euro-denominated assets, which is also an interesting phenomenon that we've observed lately.
Chair Powell, I mean, is it fair to say, I know, nothing is guaranteed, number one, we all know this. Barring a real surprise, is July just too soon to seriously even consider a rate cut?
Yeah, I really can't say. It's going to depend on the data, and we are going meeting by meeting. I mentioned, how I'm thinking about that, but I wouldn't take any meeting off the table or put it directly on the table. It's going to depend on how the data evolve.
Governor, what's the biggest risk stemming from protectionist trade policy, actually, for the global economy and for South Korea's?
Can you just...
The biggest risk stemming from trades and protectionist measures?
You know, Korea has a quite export-driven economy. So whatever the global fragmentation is a serious impact. Not only direct impacts through the US tariff, but also indirect impacts through China, Mexico, Canada. And we easily can it really depends on what's going to happen on July 9th. We are actually waiting for the result, but we don't know what's going to happen. But for example, like if the tariff goes back to 26% retaliatory tariff that was announced in April 2nd, and then also with a lot of sectoral tariff which affect our economy, aluminum, steel, and cars, we can easily say that it has an impact larger than close to 1% in our GDP growth rate. And depending on how long it lasts, I think we have to adjust to the new supply chain, so the impact will be larger. So, but I hope that scenario won't come.
What is the most concern for the Bank of Korea? Is it a stalling South Korea exports, slowdown in global trade, or a downturn in the US economy?
It's all linked, right? It's all linked, right? So it's a global economy slowdown. And one thing, I mentioned some negative sides only, but one positive side, I don't know if it's positive or not, but Korean companies has been preparing for the supply diversification long time ago before the tariff, U.S. tariffs start to, because we have some issues with China, and then also Chinese industry has become very competitive. So we had to relocate our production site from China to elsewhere. So relatively speaking, we are well prepared. And second,
ooh, look at that. US 30 is running at 141 pips.
Which
Very nice.
AI, technology development. So I hope that we can manage it. But on the other hand, given we look at the sheer size of the export dependence, we will be significantly affected.
Governor Bailey, do you think interest rates will be closer
If
to
US
3 or 4%
equities
at the
continue
end of
to
the easing
rise,
cycle?
we're going to see a risk on mode, which is bearish for gold in theory. And so far, it looks like, yeah, we do have a new all-time high on US 30, don't we? A beautiful, beautiful day. What's your positions, guys? Profit, loss, break even?
Profit and break even.
Good. So you have the same positions as I do.
Yeah.
One, two, 1, 2.
3, 4, 3, 4. Ooh. We got a new server tag on Discord. Very nice. Okay, so good afternoon, guys. Welcome back. We got 6 minutes until the ISM manufacturing PMI, which is not the non-manufacturing PMI, is the manufacturing PMI. Also, we have JOLTS job openings. Now, the JOLTS job openings is the number of jobs being advertised. It's not the number of jobs being taken, it's the number of jobs being advertised. This is the least powerful labor market, the job market data out of all. NFP is the strongest, then ADP, and so on. But JOLTS is the weakest. But still, we can have some logical, deductions. If we have many job openings, that means the economy is still doing well. But it doesn't mean, so a lot of job openings is not equal to, a working economy, because just because they're advertising jobs doesn't mean they take up the jobs or they offer the jobs. And we saw it last month. JOLTS job openings was pretty strong, in line with expectation, but ADP employment was very low. Also NFP was very low. That means the companies are advertising jobs, a lot of jobs, but they're not hiring. So there's a displacement between the number of jobs being advertised and the number of jobs being taken. Is it because the workers not taking it or employers not giving the jobs? I don't know. I have a feeling it's the former. Anyhow, so we have two data today, which is important: JOLTS job openings and ISM manufacturing PMI. Now, ISM manufacturing PMI is below 50, which means that the US economy is contracting, shrinking. JOLTS job openings, if we have lower than 7 million job openings with a low ISM manufacturing PMI, that's going to be inflationary or deflationary? It's a question to you.
Up. Well, if higher, if 15, then it's going down.
So if we have, what did I say? Low PMI? Yeah, low PMI.
Higher PMI going lower, going down.
Yeah, exactly. But if we have low PMI and low JOLTS job openings, that's going to be bullish for gold. If we have a high PMI with high JOLTS job openings, it's going to be bearish for gold. And we got 2 minutes and 19 seconds left. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doop. Are you guys going on holiday this year, this summer? Anywhere nice?
No. No holiday.
How come?
Off to my place in the sun next week.
Hey, Dorothy. Well,
Hey.
you're going on in Spain. How many times a year?
Only once a year, actually, at the moment, because of the dog. So we go once a year, but I go for long, though. So
That's why I don't have
home
a
away
dog.
from home, really, so it's okay.
Yeah, but you got a villa down in Spain,
Yes, I
right?
do.
A big
Yes, I
one
do.
with swimming pool.
2-bedroom.
2-bedroom in Spain. Why is it Magaluf or where?
It's in Murcia. Magaluf. In Murcia.
Benidorm.
Southeast, so right by the coast. Beautiful. Peace. Lovely. Nice neighbours. All good. All good.
It's nice.
Let's get
1
summer.
minute.
Oh, sorry, I realised I've got music on.
It's cool. Unfortunately, we can't play background music because of copyrights.
Yeah, sorry.
And now you turn it on again. It's cool. So, we have 40 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how the data is going to affect the markets. I don't think it's going to be moving the markets because everyone's waiting for Trump and the Eurozone, or the ECB. ECB, not European Parliament, government, whatever, EU and US. And we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see the data. JOLTS job openings is out. ISM PMI is stronger. JOLTS job openings is higher. Let's see. So we have stronger PMI. Oh, that didn't update. That should be bearish for gold because we have higher PMI and higher JOLTS job openings. Yep. So I'm sticking with gold shorts. High PMI, high JOLTS. Yeah, sticking with longs on US 30. That's the two positions I have. And so far, the data is in line with my positions. Just rethink it again. So if we have high ISM manufacturing PMI, it's not significantly high, but it's high, but it's still below 50. But if you look at the JOLTS job openings, that's quite inflationary. But as I said before, just because we have higher job openings, that doesn't mean that those jobs will be filled. Exact situation like last month. We had high JOLTS job openings, we had low ADP and low NFP because companies, even though they're advertising the jobs, they're not hiring. So I'm holding the positions, selling gold, buying US 30. And I'm expecting the same results as last month. But of course, we have the trade negotiation between the US and the EU and other countries. And we have the war. So let's see how the market is reacting. Okay, US 30 is still in profit. Gold is gold. Being a little cunt. If I move to the 4-hour time frame, then no, it still doesn't look too good. We need to. I set the TP at 33. Around 33.20 and 33.10, which lines up with the weekly pivot, and I'm expecting price to pull back into this downward sending channel. So if everything goes well and we have this fake out, but eventually price might pull back into this downward sending channel if everything goes well, and I hope that they will come to an agreement, the US and the Eurozone. If that happens, gold is going to melt and US indices will rally.
Well, so far I hear the EU was accept the 10% tariffs, but they're going to talk about the car, steel, and was more something.
Yeah, of course, that's still a few things they're negotiating, but the question is whether the US is going to accept it or not. But I believe that Trump will accept. I mean, Trump's team will accept these deals. Trump started the negotiations with ridiculously high expectations, like, 30, 40, 50% tariffs, even 125. But all he wants is a good 10%. And he's more than happy with that. But he does this. Have you read Trump's book on business?
Nope.
It's worth to read. Come to Malaysia, Tamas. So many beautiful islands. I would love to. I've never been to Asia. I've been to Asian restaurants and I have Asian friends, but I've never been to Asia.
Oh, so
Hey, Tomas.
Mike McCready, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
You old mother tucker. We missed you.
Yeah, I've been absent for a while. Did you participate in the Pride Parade this weekend?
No, but I've seen it. That was a big backlash for Orban.
Yeah.
he's the number one organizer for Pride, apparently. Where were you? We missed you.
Yeah, no, I've been trading. I've been traveling. My mother is in poor health, so I've been living with them a lot in Arizona, and the time zones haven't aligned. I'm in Barcelona now, though, so.
Sorry to hear that, and sending all the love to Mum.
Thank you.
It's not easy with parents, is it?
Yeah, as they get older.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not one thing; it's another. Recently.
Yeah, I lost both of my parents quite young, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyhow, so have you been trading lately, Mike?
Yes, yeah, I haven't stopped trading. I've been trading futures a little bit more than spot, but I've still got spot going. But on futures, as you know, I can't hedge, so I've had to readjust my strategy.
You can hedge on futures, but you need to.
Yeah.
You have to have. Well, for example, if you trade, you can hedge with, for example, if you have a portfolio of corporate credit bonds, you can hedge them with government bond futures.
Yeah.
Because they linked.
Yeah. 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 But for U.S., you can do that as well here in the U.S. But for U.S. traders on futures, they stopped allowing direct hedging with the same asset with regulations back in 2008.
Yeah, with the same asset you can't, but there are loopholes. You need to find.
Right, on gold you can do you can hedge one contract with 10 micros, for example.
Yeah, that's one way. Also, if you have. So the only thing I can say is, because that's what I used on an actual trading desk, is we had a we had a corporate bond portfolio, which all the corporate bonds were linked to the treasury yields. So it was a no-brainer that when we were expecting, for example, yields to drop, we just had to sell with the government bonds, because they had a futures as well. We just took the exactly opposite positions, and the way to calculate how many contracts you need to calculate the delta, because that will give you the exact number of contracts.
Got it. Yeah.
Come to Maldives. Sure. If you give me a couch to surf on, I will visit, Ibrahim. Gold is really trying to break out, even though looking at Joel's job openings and ISM data, I know it is not the strongest data, but still inflationary. So I'm holding the shorts. Actually, I'm entering another short on gold right now. Well, that's going to be a very tight stop loss, because I have already too much exposure. Come on, gold.
on, you pig! Come on, come on! Yeah, I wonder why gold just barely reacted to that news.
It's not the strongest data, and I was just explaining to our colleagues that Joel's job openings is, I wouldn't say it's meaningless, but it's not as strong as ADP or NFP, because JOLTS is just how many jobs being advertised, how many jobs being not created, just the possibility to be created.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? ADP is a private corporate data, how many payrolls have been created, if I'm correct. With NFP, which is the national data, Bureau of Labor Statistics, that how many jobs being created. So one is just how many is being advertised, JOLTS, and the other two, how many has been actually taken up. Come on, gold. What's the weather like in Barcelona?
It is hot. It is 34 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
34
You
mean Celsius?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, we got the same. 31.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good. Last week it was 38.
Yeah.
And that was too much.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, it's 20 here. Or so.
30.
20.
20. That's quite cold for summer.
No, it's okay.
49 in Pakistan, Jesus.
True,
49 in Pakistan.
Last week.
Guys, the more we sell gold, the lower the price will dump. I don't know who's not selling, but you need to stop buying and start selling.
I'm already all in on sell.
Good. Full margin. That's what I like, Michelle. Merci beaucoup.
Full margin Tuesday.
Woohoo! I can pay my bills this month. US 30s, 165 pips. I should have entered more. Hi, lots. Stupid me. Mariam Zamaniasi, why are we selling? That's because market sentiment. I'm expecting the Eurozone and the US to come to a trade agreement. Once it happens, US indices will create new all-time highs. And that is a risk on sentiment, which already started prior to the agreement coming out. We have only a week left till the deadline. And based on the previous trade agreements that Trump made, I don't think that they're going to wait out till the 9th. And they already announced that they're going on the right track. That is the reason why I'm selling gold, Mariam, and why I'm long on US 30 and in any index, US index in general. I hope I answered your question.
How long would you hold the short, and how far against you would you let it go before you would stop out?
Intraday. If you look at my TradingView screen, I would hold the short until 33.20, 33.10, somewhere around that area. Because price, we don't know yet whether it's a fake out or an actual breakout from this descending channel. Both of them 100% possible. So that's the reason I would just focus on, intraday, make the money, take the money. This year, it's almost impossible to hold swing trades. Too many news, too many fundamentals, too many geopolitics shaping the world day by day.
Yeah.
And those of you who would like to join the AlphaFX community, go to alphafx.eu, send in the link into the YouTube chat. This summer, new website is coming. Just got the first draft of the design from my web designer, and the prices will change. This £199 joining fee is going to vanish. It will go up to, I think, $699 or something. You're welcome, Mariam. After the shake, is gold bullish? Is the gold bullish? Yeah. No, it's US 30, which is ridiculously bullish. Come on, gold. You guys on Discord, you can apply for a server tag.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Have you done it?
Yep.
Did you? Very nice. I don't know how to apply, but you can do it. Okay, US 30 is now 200 pips profit. Shame that gold is not following. $47. That is hot. Adnan Menderes need to sell or buy gold. I'm selling gold, brother. You can see on the left side of the screen, I'm selling gold and buying indices. Yeah, I think you're still in time to sell. If gold goes to 33.20, you can cash in 280 pips profit. But of course, this is not a financial advice. You are responsible for your own trading decisions. I'm merely just showing my positions. NFP is coming up this week, guys, and as you know, there is a 75% deposit bonus on the new deposits and existing deposits as well, so redepositors as well by Forex. Now, officially on the website it's 50%, but with the AlphaFX75 code you can request 75%, so it's an additional 25% deposit bonus for you, which is a lot of money. If you deposit $1,000, you get $750. Imagine having the ability to trade with $750 for free. You can lose it or not. You won't lose your capital. But if you take a little bit higher risk than usual with the $750, you can maximize your profit potentials, because if you win, you can withdraw all the profits. Simple as that. Link is below the description. Let's see the positions. US 30s, 220 pips profit. Gold is moving sideways, but we have good chance that it will melt. Maybe one day, hopefully. Next week's CPI as well. So make sure that you use the deposit bonus of 75%. I have no idea who's Bubba FX, but keep me updated about his buy. Nita Flavius, what's the stop loss on gold? Just the previous highs. Anything. It's up to you, brother. Up to you. If you depends on your risk tolerance and your risk appetite. If you have smaller lots, you can have 2, 3, even 400 pips stop loss on gold. You don't even need a stop loss. professional traders don't use stop losses. They use other kind of risk management tools. But if you have, heavy lots, if you're a big player, then you might even have a stop loss. But even the stop loss is not a guarantee that your losses will not go any further than your stop loss. Okay, guys. So today we saw the data which came out. Nothing significant as expected. We're also waiting for news and updates about the trade agreement between the US and EU. And remember that we have the prime day of the week on Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to have ADP non-farm employment, and that's it. And on Thursday, because of the bank holiday on Friday, all the data is pushed to Thursday. So Thursday is the last trading day of the week. Members, we are going to live trade it. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream it on YouTube, but members, you can live trade with me. Now, if you want to join the AlphaFX community, go to alphafx.eu, link in the YouTube chat. Also, you can find the links below the video. Thank you so much. I'm going to call it a day. I leave the 2 positions. May reduce the one on gold into to 1 position because it's not going anywhere. US 30 is over 200 pips profit. This is a new position which entered just before the stream. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, and see you all tomorrow at 2 o'clock for the ADP non-farm employment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice
Bye bye.
evening.
Good seeing you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Once again, guys, this week is NFP. Get some extra capital. Forex is now offering 75% deposit bonus, not 50 as on the website. If you have the AlphaFX 75 code added when you're claiming your deposit bonus, it will go up to 75%. Make sure to read the comments, the description below the video, and also join my Telegram because that's where you get the discount link. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. This is the AlphaFX.